What's up, everybody? Welcome back to That BS Guy, your one-stop shop for everything bariatric surgery related, and you've tuned in to the latest, depending on when you watch this, but the latest My Series video. So, first and foremost, I want to get this out of the way. I just want to make sure that everybody knows ahead of time, since I'm going to be gone the following weekend and I will not have access to my studio over that next weekend. There will not be a My Journey series video next weekend, which is the weekend of July 5th and 6th, 2019. So I will do an extended video to talk about that week and the current week when I get back for the following video. But just know ahead of time that if you don't see something that weekend, it's not because I don't care. It's just because work takes precedence, and I will definitely be out of the state and unavailable. With that being said, I am going to be releasing another video, which I'm recording today, to be delayed to come out that weekend as well, so there is something. And I may do a little vlog thing as I'm traveling this week. I'm going to Las Vegas and California and Arizona and all those other places. So just kind of see how traveling might work, but we'll see. It's always really tricky when you're trying to take video on an airplane and people don't like to be filmed, even if you're not trying to film them. They're such small quarters. Anyways, so let's talk about this week. So I was freaking out a little bit this week, and here's why. I weighed myself midweek because I did not travel this last week, and big mistake. So before I go any further, if you are a person going through this weight loss journey, whether it be for surgery or other, here's some advice. Pick one day a week, roughly at the same time, to weigh yourself. That's it. Don't do it anymore. Don't try and supplement, spot check yourself. I'm telling you right now, just that one time is all you need, because here's what happened to me. So I got on the scale around Tuesday, and last week my official weigh-in was around 92-ish pounds. I kind of rounding down or up depending on where it's closer, just to kind of make it easier for everybody. But I got on the scale and it said 293.6 pounds, and I was like, what is going what is going on? And yes, I have been working out, but I mean, it's not like I'm trying to put gains on or anything like that. In fact, a lot of it's just kind of like burnouts and what have you. So I thought maybe that could be the issue, but no, it definitely was not the issue. I thought I hit my first plateau, and in a way, I was kind of excited because I heard stories of people in these with these surgeries having hit the plateau. You'll hit somewhere for a couple weeks and not move, and then all of a sudden you'll drop again. And so I thought, well, maybe this is mine. Maybe this is the start of mine. This is going to be a good learning experience for myself, and how to handle it, and how to be responsible with it, and not get freaked out, and not give up. So I just kept on. I just kept on keeping on, and it was bothering me. Absolutely, it was bothering me because I spent money out of my own pocket to get my surgery done, and I can talk a little bit about that a little bit later. But so it's really important. I want to get my return on investment with these kind of things, and going up is the wrong direction. So with that being said, I didn't weigh myself again until Saturday morning. And Saturday morning rolled around, and to my delight, I weighed 290 pounds, roughly. A little bit lower than that. I'm not going to say I'm in the 280s just yet, but it is, right there, right at the cusp. So I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to go overshoot it or anything like that. But so here's my official stats. So my pre-operation weight was 378 pounds. Yep. Of pure man meat. And my operation weight after a couple weeks of pre-operation dieting was 363 pounds, and then my current weight is 290 pounds. Couple things to go with that. Clothing size-wise, for me, now please note I'm, a pretty stocky build. for any guy, to be honest with you. And I also I'm around 6'1", depending on the day. To be honest with you, probably more on the 6 foot side, not the 6'1" side, but who cares? Point is that I'm a big boy, and as far as shirts and pants, right now I'm somewhere in like the 39 inches category for jeans. Not quite to the 38, but right at 39 would probably be perfect for me. But I don't make that. It's either 38 or 40. So I'm wearing 40s right now, and they're a little loose. And as far as shirts, I'm either a solid XXX or a larger XL. Now I have ran into one XL shirt that was really small, but I think that was like one of those brands that run everything really small. Anyways, so I will just say that I'm for lack of a better term, I'm really solidly in the XX category. I couldn't be happier. I mean, honestly, like, physically, I see my face changing. I mean, I've looked at some of my videos from the very first stuff. I almost feel like I need to redo some of these videos because, I was so bloated back then. I just kind of like, do I really want people to go to that video to see me like that every single? But I'm not done yet. I mean, like, even in comparison to that, or in comparison to now, I'm going to look very different, even more so, in comparison, because I still have, best estimate, at least another 60 to 70 pounds that I'm going to eventually drop over this next year. But I do expect the weight loss to be slower, and for those of you going through the journey as well, or researching this, just know that your weight will be easier to drop early on, and then you start to slow down. That's really where the diet and the managing yourself portion is really key. Some people keep asking me like, well, what certain things do I eat? What certain options? Like, how does my week look food-wise and what have you? And so I don't really have because I travel so much, I don't really have a static food option here. But I will say this. A lot of times, you'll watch people's videos and they'll say, get a digital scale so you can weigh your food, weigh your proteins. And I'm going to tell you right now, is if you get to that level of meticulousness, if that's even a word, you're gonna have a bad time and it's not gonna be a good experience for you. And also, I'm gonna make the argument that it's not sustainable. I mean, I'm not gonna take a digital scale everywhere and weigh out 4 to 6 ounces of protein every single meal. That's just not gonna happen. You're gonna have to eyeball it. You're gonna have to look at the menus and see what's worth your money, what's worth it, what can you take home and eat later. Will it be a steak? Will it be a piece of chicken? What type of stuff come with it? Is soup the best option for where you're at? Things like that. So you really have to kind of make it your own. But I will say this, your stomach, regardless of your VSG or duodenal switch, and I think even with the bypass, your stomach will tell you when you're full, because it'll start to feel off and bloated. And as long as you are not drinking liquids with your food, and if you are, you should stop, because that's a very naughty thing you're doing. But as long as you're not pushing things through too quickly, you're going to feel full and you're going to be satiated for, a good amount of time. All right. So do yourself a favor as you're going through this and make sure that you're, just eating consistently, taking your vitamins consistently if you need to, if you have a surgery that requires it, and all of that. So I know that when I went through Mexico Bariatric Center, and by the way, there is some confusion because there is another bariatric center in Mexico, in Tijuana actually, called Mexicali Bariatric Center. They are not the same company. I went through, oh gosh, so many things here. I went through Mexico Bariatric Center for my surgery, and they took really good care of me, and they still do seminars. In fact, if you look at their YouTube page, they actually have a full nutrition slide, nutritional presentation that they have done. Very, very excellent, and that is the same nutritionist that worked with me prior to, and also did a couple follow-up phone calls with me. But just know that if you go through a service like that, out of country, that's specialty for that, that your level of support is only going to be so deep. It's really what you do that is going to carry you forward, and if it'll be successful or not. There's a lot of different options here. So, for my people out there, as I like to say, if you're thinking about doing this, if you're thinking about, or if you're trying to lose weight naturally, if you stumble upon this page for whatever the reason, just make sure that your diet is on point, because, you have to stay away from the simple carbohydrates. That's the number one thing. No sugars as best as you possibly can. So, for example, I drink some Powerades that has 0 sugar in it. This is gone because I did drink it already. And I think it's really important that you kind of plan yourself, all right? So a lot of the stuff that I purchase, I get bulk on Amazon and have it sent to me, so when I come home, I don't have to worry about going shopping or anything. The only thing I have to go to the store and buy is string cheese, which, by the way, if you're not eating string cheese, you need to eat that string cheese. It does great. 2 pieces only. Do not do the full bites. Actually string them on, and it fills you up. Now, is that for every meal? Hell no. Do not do that for every meal. But I mean, if you're like, okay, I feel hungry, but I really don't want to eat a lot, like, it's a good snack meal, and it's good fat, and it has some protein in it, and I can't holler at it much any more than that. So I'm big string cheese advocate. But really, the crux of your diet should be proteins for the duodenal switch, mind you, protein and fats, in that order, with some, maybe wheat breads and stuff like that, if you can fit it in there. But honestly, by the time you get done with your protein, you're barely going to have time for some of the fats. As long as if you're eating steak, you're going to get a little bit of both and things like that. So just be mindful of that. And it's always interesting when I hear people like VSGers, for example. So VSGers, if you're watching this is for you. You guys are strictly restrictive. So when I talk about, having my diet be bigger in one area versus the other, it really doesn't apply to you, because you still will absorb everything that you eat. Okay? So if you need, because you don't have to take vitamins, because you're not stacking in one direction, and you're not losing out on some nutrients from those foods, you still have to watch your diet as if you were a person who never had surgery. Okay? So in a way, it's a little bit more difficult, because, if you're drinking carbonated drinks, for example, that can stretch your pouch up. If your pouch essentially goes from, for those of you who don't know, goes from the size of a deflated football down to the width of your thumb. Okay, in some cases, a little bit bigger in some other variations of the surgeries, like the SIPs, I believe, if I remember correctly. But point is that you can stretch that back out, so that actually can get bigger again. Depending on what you do, and carbonated drinks with the gases tend to do that quicker than if you don't. So that's why they advocate no beer, no sodas. Not to mention that those two things in general are not conducive to weight loss. Now, I'm not saying that you can't live a little. If you have one beer, eventually down the road, it's probably not going to do much. Same thing with a soda. Sometimes you got to treat yourself. But I can tell you right now, once you open the door to any of those things, it's a lot easier to continue opening the door wider. And so for me, I just closed it, and it's not even on my radar. Like, I've been around people drinking beer. In fact, where I'm at right now, they just had a huge beer festival, and I loved going to that. You could walk around drunk with your little stein and, take your tickets in and blah, blah, blah. Didn't go, did not go, because it just wasn't conducive to what I was going to be doing. And honestly, my health is more important than one weekend of enjoyment. So take that for what it's worth. And I will say that as I'm losing more weight, I still have to monitor my alcohol intake with the mixed drinks. One thing I did find out is I sang a karaoke song this last weekend, and this cute little girl, she's like, I want to buy you a shot. Here's some Hornitos. And she gives me a shot of Hornitos, I'm not saying she's racist for buying me tequila, but, she didn't even offer me anything else, so. It was adorable, but I'm sure she's perfectly fine. But I was just like, okay, well, I guess that's the thing now. So I get a shot of Hornitos, and she doesn't even take one with me. She just kind of thanks me and walks away. Here's the thing. This was my first shot since I had my, since I started drinking alcohol, since I had my surgery. Didn't go well. Did not go well at all. I didn't finish the shot, first of all. I took the salt and I took a sip of the tequila and then I took the lime in there. And as soon as I got done with that, I felt like your mouth, like, just like you were gonna throw up. I felt like I was going to just bleh, all over things. So I sat up, I walked to the bathroom, and I just stood above the toilet, just waiting for the magic to take place, and it never did. I started breathing, nice and kind of taking it in. But it quickly made me realize that shots are not on the docket. Not on the docket whatsoever right now, if at all. It's unfortunate, but what can you do? So from me to you, as an update to the alcohol video, do not take shots. It is not going to end up well for you. You're gonna have a bad time. With that being said, I think that's all I want to cover today. I gotta make another video so I can have another video come out. I'll set it to auto-publish or premiere or whatever it's gonna be called next Saturday while I'm gone. That way you all have another video to at least watch while I'm gone, because unfortunately I will not be here for another update video. But I will do I'll do an extended one that will cover the 2 weeks, because it's gonna be a task, being gone that long and being away from you guys. I really appreciate it. By the way, thank you so much for new subscribers and old subscribers. I'm at 63 subscribers. Last week I was only at 54. I mean, we're growing pretty fast now in comparison to before, and that's all thanks to you guys. So if you guys know any friends or if have anybody that you want to share these videos with or share the channel to, you have my full blessing. And I am working on something. I cannot mention it yet. I cannot mention that because it might not even happen. But I am working on something to try and give back to you guys, because it's so endearing, and it fulfills my soul when I have people make comments on my videos asking specific questions and seeing how I reacted. I just had one person ask, did I weigh myself? Did you gain weight right after you had surgery? And I said, what, honestly, I was just giving my body enough time to heal. I didn't even have a scale when I got back home for another 2 weeks because I just didn't have one. I didn't think about that ahead of time, and it's a really good thing I didn't, because I would probably be freaking out that my weight wasn't dropping down so fast. Here's the thing. Your body needs time to adjust and heal post-surgery. So whatever's happening during that time is going to happen, and your body's not regulated at that point. You still can't eat regular food. Everything is trying to figure out what the heck. You just lost half, most of your stomach, and and if you had any other surgeries, your internal organs, like your small intestines, are all changed up and everything. So your body's probably freaking out right now. So if you were a person who just had the surgery, give it a minute. Give it a hot minute, and you'll be fine. Weigh yourself starting around 2 to 3 weeks after, and then take it from there. One thing I might do is also take pictures of yourself. I'm not one of those channels that's going to be standing in front of this camera half naked and showing you comparison pictures. First of all, I don't want to share that, and number two, I don't think anybody wants to see that. And if you do want to see that, why? Yeah, you can see the stats. You can see the clothes fitting a lot looser. I mean, this is my travel shirt, so I don't care if it fits. It's just something that's nice and cool, doesn't show up sweat, doesn't stink, just something that I can wear when I go on planes, because I'm going on a plane in about 3 hours. So lots and lots of stuff. So anyways, this video is getting a little long. I want to get it done so you guys can get back to your day. But thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, please give the video a like and a subscribe. It really helps me out. We're pushing our way to that 100 person mark, and then we'll get to 1,000. Maybe not. I'm not holding my breath. It's not about that, but it is fun to try and build the base there. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And also, feel free to subscribe or follow me on Twitter. I got 2 people as Twitter followers, so it'd be nice to have more. And if you want to share these videos, feel free to share these videos. You have my permission to share them wherever, in case people want to know a little bit more about bariatric surgery. So Thanks once again for dropping by, and I will see you in 2 weeks once I'm back from my work trip. Have a great one. Bye-bye.